Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at belisiofoods.com/careers.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Red's Roundup. And boy, we got a full house today. We have some talented people with us, and we're going to talk about little memories and music. And later in the show, we're going to have an internet pioneer, as I call her. She owns a radio show in Texas, and it's very popular, called the Righteous Hillbilly Radio Show. She'll be joining us from Texas on a video stream very soon. But right now, we want to welcome the Jackson Sonic Rhythm Academy. And why don't you guys introduce yourself, and we'll talk a little bit about music today.
Okay, I'm Ryder Stafford.
I'm Lillian Leininger.
Megan Wiseman.
And this trio was started in memory of Bart. Well, actually, it's now in memory of Bart Wiseman, but actually Bart started it. And apparently, Megan, you said it plays off the School to Rock, the popular movie by Jack Black.
Sort of, we brainstormed one day, and Sonic Rhythm Academy is the name we came up with. It stuck right off the bat. So a little different than School to Rock, but I think cooler.
And I'll tell you, Ryder, I saw you got some internet fans out there.
Yeah.
Tell us how you learned. Tell us about your guitar first, and how you learned to play, and why you love music so much.
Well, this guitar is a resonator, and I like it because it's real loud. And I got into music with Bart in the first Sonic Rhythm Academy, like the first time we did that. And I remember I just loved the way it felt. I mean, I loved the way it felt. And then I just took off with it, and I started playing.
Take off would be an understatement. I think. I don't know that you did. You touch an instrument before you joined us?
No, I never really wanted to be a musician or anything, but then I just fell in love with it the first time I tried it.
It's just we're Appalachian and talented people, and we're musically talented, writing talented, photography. We have a lot of creative arts. We got a young lady that likes to sing, and she did a wonderful job down to Street Fest in Jackson. I saw her down there. And to tell us about you and why you like to sing.
Ever since I was a little girl, I used to love and sing. And first, I started off dancing, so I joined jazz dance. And then it was more into singing. And when I showed Megan how I sang, she was like, "Oh, we have like this band, and you should totally join it because we don't have any singers." And I was like, "Sure." And so now I'm in a band, and it's super cool. I really like it.
And Megan, we mentioned the movie, and that really put a spotlight on teaching music, and it really put a spotlight on young performers. What impact do you think that movie had across America on a lot of groups like this kind of sprung?
I think a fairly large impact. I think that in a place where, in Appalachia, as you said, where we grow up, there's some limited options that we have. So part of my day job is I am the director of the Family and Children First Council. So I work with families and children, and we try to create opportunities for pro-social activities for kids that are positive and that they can actually get something out of. So constantly looking and constantly trying to mine money to find ways to make that work. And as I was mentioning to you earlier, we were able to, the initial class we had, we got the endowment from the city for the Jones Arts Endowment. So it was just a small little pot of money, and we were able to buy a couple amps and some guitar chords, and we put together, I think we had probably 15 kids. It was a pretty we bit off a big chunk there, but it worked out. We didn't have any place to meet, so got with a downtown vendor. God bless Kelly Logan. She was able to let us stay in the back of her little shop where the pottery store is now, Pinewood Pottery, and that's where we got our first tea. And then from there we went. Where were we? Oh, Jeremy and I snuggled in the old radio building. So Jeremy was gracious enough to let us stay there for the next summer.
Wow.
And then that really helped, cut down on cost. And then following that, I live in the old Sperry Funeral Home and have a big giant room. And I'm like, what am I doing here? I have this whole room in the back of my house that could be free. So that's where we've been for the last 2 summers.
And you played at the Moquet.
Every year, I think these kids are used to a big stage now. I mean, they've got the opportunity to be on a stage that most adults don't get to be. So they're pretty comfortable, I would say. Do you feel comfortable up there?
Yeah, I like it.
I know somewhere down the road you'd like to go to Nashville and play.
I'd love to.
I know that's where still where the dreams happen, and it's a little bit different today. You can have a studio in your own house today, and but it's a little bit different than it used to be. But it's still the place where people get discovered and get signed, and the magic happens, I guess you might say. But I think we've talked about you guys kind of got people warmed up. Why don't you give us a little talent of what you do? And they're going to be singing a few songs, and we're waiting on Erin to stream in too. So let's hear a little music from the Sonic Rhythm Academy, song number 1 here.
For 5 years and my life is still trying to get that good big hill of hope for a destination. I realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made up of this brotherhood of man, for whatever that means. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head. And I'm feeling a little peculiar. And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream at the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I try, oh my God, do I try? I try all the time in this institution. And I pray, oh my God, do I pray? I pray every single day for revolution. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head. And I'm feeling so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on?
Oh, how about that? That's one of the classic, hey, what's going on? I tell you, that's what's going on is we got some talented people here in Jackson, and it's hard to believe they're just in middle school. I mean, they've got a lot of good venues ahead. Maybe we can get you booked on the Apple Festival one of these days. Maybe some of our local festivals, and you guys don't even have driver's licenses yet. Was your mom and dad real encouraging? You
Yeah.
picking up music?
Yeah.
Are they musicians?
No one really. In my
No,
family is.
neither one. So you learned from this lady right here, huh?
Not for me, sadly. I wish. I try, but I really couldn't do this without Morgan Washam and Jason Hogue. They've been really the catalyst for keeping it going on the music side with Bart being gone. And when he passed away, we had a week left of that last session, and Morgan just picked right up and was able to see that through. And I just can't think of enough for that. That was a wonderful thing. And we've continued to go, and those two fellas just have a knack for teaching music in a way that these kids pick it up and know what to do with it. I don't think that anybody that we've had that's stuck around has been discouraged or just backed out. They've rolled with it and play through the mistakes, right?
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Well, music is like any other thing that you learn. It's a learning process, and mistakes are made, and they have to be. But the important thing is you correct them and keep going forward, and you learn so much, and so many people start young. You guys are starting young, and learning to work a crowd. There's a lot to show business, and do you guys discuss showmanship in some of the classes? Is that part of it?
We do. We really think about more so being good stewards of the community and being good to each other and being respectful and being kind and being humble. Those were kind of things that if anybody knew Bart, that he was real good at being a good friend to people. I don't think you'd meet too many people that would say that he wasn't. So we try to keep that kind of thing going on because I think he was the first to volunteer for anything when somebody needed a benefit, and we try to instill that into these kids as well.
I wish Bart could have kind of been. Bart didn't benefit from. After the pandemic, the local music scene really picked up with rowdies and.
So we started at the pub. We started at the pub 10 years prior to that. I bartended and Bart played on Wednesdays, and we called it Cheeseburger Wednesday.
Cheeseburger Wednesday.
And we had a pretty good rock and music scene right there on the Wednesday nights. It was pretty crazy that was the hotbed of music in Southern Ohio on Wednesdays, and he was always one to invite anyone to come play on a Wednesday. So sometimes he may not play but a couple songs and have people stand in and sit in and play with them. So that kind of just really, the pandemic kind of stopped that, full stop, obviously, and it took a hot minute to rekindle what that was going on. But really, the pub was the place that he kind of got that ball rolling.
One of the things that's becoming a staple in the local entertainment calendar, we remember in the 60s concert.
Oh, yes.
that's become popular, and you guys playing that, right? You guys have been part of that, and what's a night like that like? It's become very popular in town.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, go up on that stage. I mean, I enjoy
Do
it.
you all get nervous? Because I
Yeah.
always feel like they have nerves of steel.
Yeah, backstage we're all shaking.
As I said a bit ago, you have played on a stage, a bigger stage than most people do get to, and that's pretty good practice for life.
We never forget what Barbara did. I mean, Barbara spent 20 years restoring that place, and she took me down there when the place was still had lumber on the ground, wood caught on fire, and Barbara said, "I'm going to restore this place." 20 years later, she got the gallery done, then back with the concert area and the stage and everything got done a little later. But it's just a great resource for our. There's so much entertainment. I mean, we talk about music, but there's art, which have the gallery,
Yes.
comedians. There's been some comedians, storytelling. Here in Appalachia, Paul Brown tells the old time stories, and there's so much good entertainment. And one thing entertainment does, and we all talk about Nashville becoming a big star, but there's a second side to entertainment, which a lot of people around here benefit from, and Charlie Mandarin was on last week with us. It's a second income to a lot of people.
Sure.
And, if you don't make it big in Nashville, you can sing at local clubs, and it pays pretty good. You can make a nice...
My husband made a nice living at playing around here and was able to do so. And that's all he wanted to do was play music. He said that, he was a musician and that's why he was here. So I think that you can, if that's what you so choose to do.
And that's kind of the point. One of the points that I wanted to do was introduce people to the local community. I want to say hello to our listeners. We're not only on the Facebook channels, we're also on 105.3 live. So we want to welcome all you listeners. Fox Sports Radio, 1330, and we're around the world on the Total Media Radio app. And a lot of Erin's friends, when we're still waiting on her to zoom in, it's probably around 2:30, we think. A lot of people in Texas is going to be watching you, so we'll give you a chance to perform when they're all watching. We hope if some of Erin's friends is watching, we'll say hello to them down Texas way. And she has some big news about a record she just made herself. She got to do some singing herself. So, but you guys got another one picked out, or do you want to start picking one out and we'll hear from you again?
We have another song.
Okay, let's go ahead and hear some more music, and while we're waiting, and we'll be back to talk about more music and more education when we come back.
Some folks are born, made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue. And when the band plays hail to the chief, ooh, they point the cannon at you, Lord. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no senator's son, no. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one, no. Some folks are born, silver spoon in hand. Lord, don't let them help themselves, Lord. But when the tax man come to the door, Lord, the house looking like a rummage sale, yeah. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no millionaire's son, no, no. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one, no. Some folks inherit Star-spangled eyes, ooh, they sound you down the wall, Lord. And when you ask them how much should we give, ooh, they only answer more, more, more. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no military son, Lord. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one, no. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one.
Oh, wow. That's singing and picking. Good stuff there. And I tell you, they are into the good stuff here. And tell us a little bit about the boundaries of the Sonic Rhythm Academy. How old do they have to be? How do they join?
We do 10 and up. I think that we found that that's where we can
Okay.
have the most success and stay focused and corralled, perhaps, maybe most of the time. We will offer sign-ups in the fall or spring. There'll be a Bart Wiseman Foundation. There's a webpage, .org, and then also Facebook, Bart Wiseman Foundation, that you could go look at that. You know, we do take a limited number because we just have a couple. We're still a shoestring operation. We are not-for-profit tax status now, so that will help in the future. We've totally existed on partnering with community partners and or private donations from folks like you and everybody listening. So we know how to run a program on a shoestring budget. It's no frills, but I think we have a lot of nice stuff. And thankfully, Bart was a hoarder of wonderful musical instruments, so that's always helped us out too. We've had several people in the community and beyond that, you know, I've gone to high school with or whatnot that have donated instruments. We just got a very fine cello that I can't wait to see somebody play. Makes me think of the AVET. Somebody will bust that out one of these days. But we, you know, just existing on what we have. We're not fancy, but we sound pretty good.
Now, do you guys? You do. You really do. And boy, that singing and picking was good. I just right there, good high notes, good rhythm guitar there. Just ringing those. Now, do you put out your stuff on Facebook? I've seen a lot of young people do that.
Yes, we try to post. I think just between their families and people who follow us around, we've got a fair amount of material out there. I like to tease them. I think you guys have played a CCR song every year, so they could be a CCR cover band real soon, I think.
A lot of people's doing that kind of thing.
Hey, in a pinch, you know, if you need to make some bread for dinner. But I think that in the future we would like to be able to, we've thought about or hoping that we could one day get our own building and maybe fold in some recording and just be that place where there's a stage for bands and kind of a co-op-y, maybe something or another where all local musicians could come benefit and record and all those fun things that go along with the music business.
Well, that's one thing, and we're waiting on Erin. She should be calling in the next 10 minutes. She said she should be around about 1:30 her time, which is 2:30 here. She's got Internet Pioneer, and Facebook is a tool that a lot of people are using to get noticed, and you guys, you can even raise money with it. You was talking about raising money, and there's a lot of places in Nashville that you can reach now that you couldn't reach before. That
Sure.
The Grand Ole Opry supports young groups like this.
I've been looking at some grant opportunities. I know that Tyler Childers is Healing Appalachia. They have a component for grant writing right now, and they're on a rolling basis. And I thought about applying for that. One of those was just healing in the arts with, you know, some of the opioid epidemic, and it's hard pressed to not know anybody in Southern Ohio that hasn't been touched by that in some way. So just to create those positive outlets for youth, and I think those are some of the things that we are mindful of when we're going forward. And we also, another thing that we thought would be cool that we've been thinking about, Morgan and I have talked a lot about, is, you know, Jackson's the home of the Stedford. Most people in the world don't know what that is, and you know, they still do the school Stedfords here, but they don't do the ones in the community. And the old lore of Jackson that I've read.
Uh-huh.
You know, they've built buildings just to have it hosted here, and I've read something in one of Bob Urban's books that there were 10,000 revelers in the street during that week of Stedford when they would do the community event. So that would be something I think would be neat. Maybe partner with Rio Grande and bring that kind of back to where we're one of those spots where they do have it. I know that they do have it in larger cities still. And for everybody who's listening that doesn't know what a Stedford is, we're settled by a bunch of Welsh families, and it's a singing contest. And when you're in school in Jackson, it's a traumatic singing contest.
I'll tell you, a great place for that would be at the Welsh Museum in Oak Hill. They got some Appalachian grant money they put in Central Air, and so it's much nicer to go there now.
Well, and one of the friends of Johnny Reister's grandmother, Miss Bangert, was instrumental in that way back in the day. And then Johnny used to work for me at a summer camp I ran for kids at Mrs. Loxley's, and now he's quite the luthier, making fiddles for all kinds of people in this world. And it's pretty impressive, right? A fellow right here from Jackson.
Yeah, we had one of his partners on, not partner, I guess associates, and he has an associate here in Jackson, and Andy Milliken.
Yes.
He came on with us, and Hayden's in here today with us, and our own Hank Milliken from the station, and John's become quite famous. He's been on KET, his instrument making operation. He sang at the Homegrown Happy Hour.
He and Andy both worked for me for several summers.
That's right. How'd you keep them straight?
Well, Andy's not a real fan of taking a fish off the line, but we got over that after several years. He'll probably kill me for that, but it'll be okay.
But what we did, everything's intertwined here. Now, do you have to be in Jackson County to join?
For now, but it's not. Eventually we'd let Bart graduated from Benton County, so that would be something we'd love to extend to.
I'm sure they would. So you have some kids
that
that
would.
would.
It's just a matter of that liquidity of making it happen. We do what we can now, but there's a vision for expanding that, and there's a couple of capital kind of things we'd love to do. Just being able to provide musical instruments for loan and kids in band in the schools in Jackson County at very least. I know that Morgan Washam with his Wildwood Media, that's one of his things that he would like to do, so we're kind of try to buddy up and make that happen eventually. Even if it were instruments that could be refurbished that we could make happen and get to the band students that could, the premise of checking them out like a library. That's kind of how we do our equipment that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Take it and use it if you'd like to, but bring it back how you got it, and the next person can use it and pass it along and get a lot of miles out of things that way.
Okay, and we are going to throw it back to our entertainers here. Are you ready to pick another one?
Sure.
All righty. You know what they say in the music business, always have another one ready.
Don't break your leg.
And don't break your leg, and don't break your guitar hand, especially for you. But
Sure.
yeah, the plays we got to pick that guitar. Boy, you pick well too. And before you do, tell us a little bit about your guitar there. That's amazing.
This it's a resonator. So if you look at the way it's built, it's kind of built resembles like a speaker almost, and like your normal acoustic guitars have a sound hole and that resonates through the whole body. But this one, since it's built like this, it makes it really loud. And
It's really heavy. It's
really
a
heavy.
brass bell. So what's
Oh, I like
12,
that.
15
12,
pounds.
15 pounds, yeah.
It's a really heavy
Right.
guitar.
At least.
But that's Bart, one of Bart's favorite guitars, and
Oh, that was Bart's guitar.
yeah, so we
Okay.
figured it makes noise in a room like this, so you don't have to have any amplification. It takes care of itself. So
Well, very appropriate, and we're in the Lou Davis studio, and of course our radio studio is the John Palatero studio. So it's very appropriate that we got Bart's guitar in here today, and let's hear it again. And you guys give us another song with Erin. I see Erin's live now. We should be hearing from her any moment. We're hoping to have her up on the screen, and we'll talk about real country music when she calls in. But right now, let's hear some more music from our talented local teenagers here.
When you were before, can look you in the eyes, just like an angel. Skin makes me cry. Float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so very special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. Want a perfect body. Want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, oh, she's running out the door. She's running out. She run, 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 whatever makes you happy.
Is she on? Oh, good. Okay, good.
So very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
Oh, wow. She hits those low notes great. And now we want to say hello to our second guest of the day. And she is becoming a national radio host and has a show called the Righteous Hillbilly Radio Show. And we welcome Erin Caldwell to Total Media.
Hi, thank you for having me. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great.
And Erin has a lot going on, and she's become a singing star too. And she is one of those people who has a radio show. And why don't you tell us about your radio show and how it all got started?
So I've been doing my show since 2020. And I have to thank Justin Trevino for giving me the opportunity to do it. I used to help him with his radio show that he had called From Tennessee to Texas and Beyond. Just uploading a lot of the playlists, taking requests, doing stuff like that, helping him. I started the Facebook page for that show. And then he started letting me fill in on his show. And then from there, Don Caldwell from Keeping It Country Live heard me and decided I would be a good fit for Keeping It Country Live. And I'm the first female host that they've ever had on that station. So that was pretty cool.
Okay, you have a real life, like a lot of entertainers. You also
Yes.
have
Yes, it's not all glitz and glamour. I work hard. I have a full-time job as a respiratory therapist, and then I also do my radio show. Of course, the dream would be able to do music professionally, but you also got to pay the bills and take care of your family. So,
and speaking about singing, you're on Justin Trevino's new album, and you co-wrote the song that you're featured on, and it sounds like a country classic. Certainly goes back to the days, the Ralph Emery days when cheating songs were a staple of country music. What you know?
oh, well, thank you so much. I think that was kind of the intention. I know Justin, when he wrote the first verse of that song, it was a song that he had that just wasn't finished yet. And it needed a female perspective on that second verse. And I think he had George Jones in mind whenever he was writing the song. He wanted it to sound like something that George would have sang and done. And he knew that I was an aspiring songwriter. And so he just gave me the song and said, see if you can do something with it. And then I wrote that second verse to it, and he just loved it. And then when he did his new album, he decided to put it on the new album, which I had no idea he was going to do that. And then he asked me to do vocals on it. So it was all a big surprise to me. But, at this point, I don't perform a whole lot as of yet, mostly because of time constraints and doing my radio show and other things that I do. But I wasn't going to turn down the opportunity to finally get to do something like that. And I'm so happy with the way that it came out. And if anybody can make something sound good, it's Justin. He's just an amazing producer, and everything that he does just comes out sounding great.
No, Justin's on Hoda Texas Records. Is that right?
He is, yes.
And that's something that keeps real country alive. And there it is down in Brady, Texas, and Tracy Pitcock is the producer. I guess, is he the owner, producer, general manager?
Yes, all of the above. Basically, except for the producer part, Justin produces almost everything that comes out on Heart of Texas Records. But Tracy owns the label, he owns the museum, all that stuff. He puts on all the events and everything related to it, like their Heart of Texas Country Music Festival that they do in the spring, and then their Honky Tonk Fest that they do in the fall. And they do tours of Nashville, and they do all kinds of stuff for traditional country music fans. I know they're one of the few in the country that are doing it. And since I've become friends with Justin, I've spent a lot of time down there and everything, and it's been really cool to just find other people that are like-minded and that enjoy that kind of music.
Erin, we have some people here. I'm going to give them a chance to ask you a question if they would.
Okay.
We have a young, there's a lady here in our community, and as we introduce Erin to our Southern Ohio audience, and it's called the Sonic Rhythm Academy, and the young people are learning music. And and Erin is, like I said, she's kind of her own crafter of a radio show and got everything started. You want to ask anything about Erin, about the music business, or how you got started, or anything? You want to ask her anything? You're a young singer. She sings.
I don't know if I'd be much help. I'm still kind of learning things myself, but
But it takes a. But do you run the radio show from your home or from a local radio station?
I do it from my home,
Oh,
actually. So I think it would probably be a lot easier from a radio station, but I do it from home. So I do all the editing, all the recording, everything, and put the show together myself from home, and then just send it out to the different stations that it's on.
wow.
Yeah. So
Now, do you hope to move to Nashville one day?
maybe for sure. I mean, that's kind of, I think it's kind of Music City. I know that it's not necessarily what it used to be back in the day as far as for country music. I think it's kind of gotten more, they want it to have more kind of mainstream appeal for different types of people. But I think it's, as far as I know, it's still a great place for music. And I know a lot of people that are up there in that part of the country. So maybe one of these days.
It's all you know. The Opry has bought Austin City Limits now, so Austin
Mhm.
and Nashville is becoming connected
Oh,
more and
wow.
more.
Yeah.
Would you consider Austin one of these days? It's becoming quite the music
I
capital.
I probably more so Austin, I would say. I've spent a lot of time down there as well, mostly just from being based out of Texas and everything. But they've always had a great music scene down there, and kind of and appreciate a lot of diversity as far as music goes and stuff. I definitely like spending time down there for sure.
You know,
Not the traffic so much, but
speaking of Austin, I always loved the Giesenslaw brothers.
yes, yes.
Did you ever meet them?
I did not. I haven't. I think they were a little bit before my time, but I definitely grew up listening to their music for sure.
They,
Listening to a lot of those records that my dad had. That's where I learned a lot of what I know about traditional country music. Is from my dad's record collection.
oh, there's a lot of that. Now, were you a singer in high school?
Um, I a little bit, yeah. I would say that writing has always been more my passion. Just the and writing all kinds of stuff. That's what I always loved more than anything, was just the creative process of doing it. The singing thing, I've always enjoyed singing, but I haven't always enjoyed the attention that goes along with doing it, I guess you could say, because I'm not really kind of like to be front and center of things a lot of times. So it's been, I will say, because you were asking me if your guests, like any young musicians or singers or anything, if they have any advice about that stuff. um Basically, you can, I would say, just believe in yourself, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't do anything, especially if you have a passion for it. If it's in your heart to do it, just do it, and don't worry about what anyone else thinks, or if you're better or worse than anybody else. And just get out there and get it done. Don't hold yourself back. That's something that it's taken me a long time to learn how to do that and everything. And I wish somebody had told me that 20 years ago. To just do it, and don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Everybody's got to start somewhere, and just stay with it, especially if you have a passion to do it and stuff. There's so many people that do kind of make it big, and there's a lot more to it than just the talent. There's sometimes it's just people that maybe they have the opportunities, or maybe they just have that kind of ego. And I've never been that kind of person that's had that kind of ego to do that. But you know I don't you just have to have that passion to do it, and just believe in yourself, and just keep going. That would be
One
my advice.
There you go. One thing, I'm going to let Erin listen to them, and then we're going to listen to Erin,
Oh, goodness
and
gracious. Okay.
we're going to listen to her and Justin. Right now, I want to let Erin listen to our young guest here. They're going to pick out another song. And Erin, I know that you shared this, and there are a lot of people listening in Texas. We welcome all of them.
Hmm.
And we had a guest, Sean Avery, last week, or a
Yes.
couple weeks ago, and he's a talented country singer.
Yes, he is. Yes, very talented. I really enjoyed getting to hear him sing and everything. That was a good program.
And he has some folks in Ranger, Texas. That's
Oh,
his.
really? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, that's not too far from where I am actually. Maybe, well, probably 30, 45 minutes from me. I'm a little west of Fort Worth, so Ranger's actually closer to me than, yeah.
Some of his friends, they sent him that big cowboy hat he was wearing.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, I want to let you listen and everybody else to our young guests here, and they're quite the talented. These 13 and 14 years old.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
And so
Yeah.
we're going to let you listen to them. Then we're going to listen to you and Justin when we come back.
Okay, sounds good.
With your feet on the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it. Yeah. Your head will collapse if there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals were hiding behind the rock. Yeah. Except a little fish bumped into me. Swear he was trying to talk to me. Wait. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? With your feet on the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it. Yeah. Your head will collapse if there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? With your feet on the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. What do you think, Erin?
Hey. I wonder if I'm the only other guest you've had that know who the Pixies are. I love that song.
We try to raise them right.
Yeah.
And Erin, this is Megan Wiseman, and she is their advisor. And she said she got the idea from, her late husband was still alive when all this started, and they got the inspiration from School of Rock, the movie.
Yes. That's one of my favorite movies, actually. I just watched that not long ago with my son because I wanted him to see that movie.
I love that movie. Wasn't Jack Black wonderful?
Yes.
Bart kind of was somewhat like Jack Black,
Oh.
except he was the honky tonk nighttime man version. I'd say that's what
Oh.
we say.
Well, how about that? Now that sets up our next segment, honky tonk. And Erin sang some honky tonk music, and this is on Justin Trevino's new album, the acoustic sessions. Is that what it's
Yes, it's one tier at a time, the acoustic sessions.
called? Oh wow! No, I always liked Eddie Stubbs, and
Hmm.
Eddie, and I know you listen to Eddie, and you said you also listen to Jeff Hogue,
Yes. Hmm.
and those two can make you cry.
Yeah.
Just Justin must love them because Justin can make you cry too.
Yes, he can. Yeah. Super talented guy.
Let's listen to who and Justin sing a little bit of country music was built on cheating songs and truck driving songs and all kinds of tragic themes. But that's why we love it so much. That's what Brad Paisley always says.
That's right. That's right. It's real life. That's what it's all about. It's about real life.
Well, let's hear them doing some singing now on Justin Trevino's latest album. And you're going to enjoy this one. It is old school and it is country with a K. Go ahead, Hayden.
I suppose tonight you're lying safely in his arms, while at home I hold the woman who's forgiven all my wrongs. Together you and I agreed to end our secret life. You went back to your husband, I've come home to my wife. But every night I dream about the arms that held me tight, warm lips that kissed me tenderly, and a love that felt so right. And tonight I'm wishing she was you and trying to just get past it. What but cheating was good while it lasted.
Haunted by this lonely feeling that I still need more. He'll hold my body while you'll hold my heart. How did I ever let things go this far? But carry on and play the part like I'm supposed to. Smile and pretend that the love I show is true. And tonight I'm wishing he was you and trying to just get past it. But the cheating was good while it lasted. But the cheating was good while it lasted.
I want to send it out to my buddy Gene Redwine down in Mississippi. He loves Justin, and he loved that song when I sent it to him. And
Oh, really?
oh yeah, he listens to Dallas Wayne on
Hmm.
Sirius. Do you listen to him?
I do sometimes. Yeah.
And yeah, we love Daryl McCall too.
Hmm.
Just love Daryl, and Daryl was from Ohio. If you didn't
Yes, I was about to say that. I'm pretty sure he was from Ohio. And I think he just got inducted into the Ohio. I don't know if it was the Country Music Hall of Fame or something up
That's
there.
right. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Well, and that song, wouldn't Eddie Stubbs say, is there any questions about that song?
Oh,
Are there any questions? That's when it's real country, when he says that. When he says
yeah.
so. Any other singing? You think you'll be doing any more singing with Justin or with anyone else coming up?
I mean, I hope to do some more stuff with Justin. We've definitely talked about it, about
Oh,
recording some more stuff together, doing some more duets and stuff like that.
well, you guys got a real. It sounded really, really good. I know
Oh,
Justin
thank
has a
you.
great band,
He does.
and well, that's fantastic. And Erin's show. I'm going to let you tell our audience a little bit about how they can find your show when it's on. I know it's on several networks now.
It's on several, on Saturdays, it's on steelradio.org at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And then on Sundays, it's on neopa.org, which is actually out of Canton, Ohio. It's at 8 in the morning. And then at 6 o'clock on Sunday nights, it's on Ears Radio 1. On Tuesday nights at 7, it's on Real Deal Country Radio. On Wednesday nights at 8, it's on Keeping It Country Live. So,
And as we pointed out before, that country music might be dead on the mainstream, but it's certainly not dead on the internet. There is a lot of
no, it's
shows.
not. Yes. Yes, there's a lot of fans out there for sure. But yeah, you're right. It's not on mainstream radio, that's for sure.
And do you hear from a lot of the different states around the country? Do you get calls from different states?
I do actually, and even from Canada too. I have a couple of my listeners that are from up there, but yeah, pretty much all over the country and stuff. I've been surprised. And even England, Sweden, I think. So all kinds of places.
And I want to go to Megan for a minute. Megan's bringing up the next generation of musicians and through academies and how do you think you're going to be an impact 10, 15 years down the road? What would you like to see out of your school? Some of these kids go out.
Seeing some return already. Writers already being an instructor in the new group of younger kids, so it's already paying off. It'd be nice to pop into the mothership down there to Ryman and know that see somebody I know that got their chops here. But if it was easy, everybody would do it. That's what Bart would tell us all. So we'll hope for the best. Practice, right? That's how you get to Carnegie Hall. So we hope that, and we just hope that we can at least give them a positive place to create and be safe and change some lives.
Well, like you mentioned, and I thought what you said to the young people was inspiring there. And Sean Avery told us at Toby Keith, they told him he wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, there's a lot of people that have made it, I guess, big. I guess you can say that had somebody at some point in their lives that told them they weren't good enough or, weren't as good as somebody else. And then they got the last laugh in the end, I guess.
And I'll go ahead and mention you mentioned a lot of these, Don Caldwell and his group, and Dave Gore, I believe is his name. They've got a stream of country music and all these other podcasters. It's really like almost the pioneer days. A lot of people coming up with creative ideas to go online.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the really cool thing about it is you don't have to go through somebody else to do it. You can do it all yourself. And just like with my show, one of the good parts about doing it from home is I'm putting it together every step of the way. So I'm involved in every single part of the process. I don't have somebody else that's messing with it or doing things with it that I don't want them to do or changing things. I do it exactly the way I like to. And I'm proud of how it comes out. And I'm very kind of protective of it, I guess you should say, a little bit.
Yeah, Porter Wagner would have been proud of you.
Oh.
That's the way he did it. Yeah, a lot of those older entertainers, that's the way they did it. They did it their
Hmm.
own way, and
Right.
kind of so. But we are going to hear. Stay with us because we want to thank you before we close out. But we're going to close out with a musical number from these young people, Ryder and Lillian, and they're going to sing one more. So stay with us, Erin. We're going to thank everybody and close out the show with one more musical number. And this has just been a fun show, a quick show, and we're going to hear some more music, and then we'll give our thanks out. So whatever you guys got picked out. So.
Um,
Your choice.
Your dealer's choice here. Okay.
It looks like they found
They
it.
found one. Here we go. Close out Red's Round. Jackson Sonic
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon shall tumble and fall, or the mountains shall crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Whoa, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Whoa, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, you can stand by me. Whoa, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
country classic,
Yay.
Erin. Erin Mickey Gurley did that.
Yeah. No, that's a great song. That's a classic for sure.
Did you ever meet Mickey?
No, I didn't.
Huh?
No, I don't
Oh.
think so.
What about his cousin from Frego?
Farragate, Jerry Lee. Did you ever meet Jerry
Jerry
Lee?
Oh, no.
Or his other cousin, Jimmy?
Yeah, they're quite a family there.
Yes.
But Erin, that's just one of the great country classics. That is a great way to close, and we certainly thank you for joining us in Southern Ohio today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad. I know you've been trying to get me on for a while, and I'm glad we could finally get it worked out.
And we want to introduce Erin Caldwell again to Southern Ohio and listen to her program, the Righteous Hillbilly Radio Show, and so it's become quite popular. So we like to introduce new things, and And Stand By Me can also be, you might hear that by Mickey Gurley on 100.9 Hank FM, one of our stations on the Total Media Radio app. Erin, the company owns 27 radio stations now.
Oh, wow. That's
outside
great.
Ohio. So, and one of them is a classic country station. So
Mhm.
we're glad of that. So again, we thank you for being with us, and we also want to thank our guest today from the Jackson Sonic Rhythm Academy, Megan Wiseman, Ryder Stafford, Lillian Liniger. So, and she put out those great vocals, and Ryder picked that fine guitar for us. Well, I tell you what, we want to thank everybody. My name's Fred Thompson, and all the people down in Texas that got to introduced. We hope you enjoyed the show. We thank Erin for coming on, and the Jackson Sonic Rhythm Academy. Next week, we hope to have Benton County volleyball coach Caitlin Carper and a couple volleyball players talking some Benton County volleyball. And I'm also working on a gospel guest, hopefully from Chillicothe, David Lee Penn. We hope to have him in next week. So until then, we're going to say goodbye and have a great day, everybody. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.